Hi, you guys. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Jalandi. I am a Christian vlogger. I vlog about my faith, my life, my dog, and my thoughts. So, today we're going to be talking about a video that I watched by the Economist, and it is called Is It Worth Having Kids? So, at first, when I saw the title of the video, I thought it was more left leaning, but I'm getting into the habit of not judging a video or a headline by its cover or by its, whatever, its phrasing, its logo, its slogan, whatever. So I just wait to dive into the material and then I form my opinion after. And as a human, it is not always so easy, but we can always improve ourselves in some way. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So the video, once I watched it, I felt like it wasn't leaning in any kind of direction. I think the producer did a very good job at filming this and, including all the necessary, statistics and information. She even spoke to two parents, which was really great. She spoke to a professional that had some insight on why the younger generation, they're deciding to either have one kid or it's like this really big decision that needs to be deeply thought about, and people are really going over the pros and cons of having children. She even talked about happiness and whether children make you happy, and she actually mentioned that a woman with a child is no less or no more happier than someone who is single, and like vice versa. So we're just like we are how we are as far as like neuroticism and like stress and our happiness like levels. It pretty much stays the same whilst we have kids. So that was good. That was interesting. So as far as if kids are gonna make you happy or if they're gonna if your quality of life will go down, I would say no. From the two women that she spoke to that actually had kids, they wanted to actually have more kids because they thought, having kids just changed your life in a very good, positive way, even though, of course, stressful things comes with adding a new person to your family. So that's like, you know, that goes without, that goes without saying. And then, so yeah, in the video, she spoke about the reasons why people are choosing to have less kids. She said one reason is because of the cost of childcare. The cost of childcare is rising, especially as more women, over the years, more and more women are getting educated and going to work. So the cost of childcare is rising. And then some countries don't offer maternity or paternity leave. Some maybe the company doesn't offer that, so it makes it harder for the woman, the wife, to decide whether she wants to stay home with the kids or if she's going to go back to work. She has to decide if is will the child care eat up all of their funds. Like, does it make sense that she goes back to work, and or does it make more sense because of the cost of child care that she actually stays home with her baby? It doesn't work. Or should she stay home with her child and then work a part-time job? So these are things that families have to think about now. And another reason that people are debating whether they want to have a child or if they want to have more children is because there is something called a motherhood penalty, and it's basically once you have a child and I guess like you take that leave, somehow, some way, you'll end up being paid less. Like if you, I didn't get the statistics, I forgot, but it's like I don't know, I think 58 cents compared to like the dollar. Like women would get 58 cents compared to men who would get like $1. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description. But basically, women, once they have children, they will get paid less, which sucks. And I don't even know how that's happening, but it's happening. And yeah, so I thought it was not a long video, but it was packed with a lot of decent information. And yeah, oh, And I wanted to give you guys the definition of the motherhood penalty. I already told you, but it's the phenomenon by which women's pay decrease once they become mothers. So that's the definition of the motherhood penalty. And so, in the video, she spoke to two mothers. One mom, she wants to have another baby, but she doesn't feel like she can afford to have one. And then another mom, she's actually pregnant with her second child, and even though she's like, she didn't really say it would be like a financial burden, but of course once you have, another child, there's more that's more money that needs to be spent. But because she had her first baby, a lot of this stuff she can just, use as, like hand-me-downs, repurpose, and yeah, she can pass down to the next child, so she doesn't have to buy a lot of the things that she bought initially, like the car seat, the stroller, bottles, toys, stuff like that. So that way they can kind of save. They won't be spending as much as they did with the first child initially. But yeah, she was basically saying that the experience that she had from her first child and becoming a mom and just going through that whole, identity change, that whole life change, adding a person to the family, it was a very beautiful thing. It was stressful at times because she said she thought her life or her how she was going to raise her baby would be similar to, what you see in the movies, what you see in entertainment. Like, you'll always have this great relationship with your baby, but of course babies, they get angry, they throw temper tantrums, you have the terrible twos, you have this and you have that. And so no, it's not the same. So, but of course the second time around she's going to be even better mom because she already has experience. So children are a blessing. And I actually went to the park a few days ago, and I had this video on my mind, but when I went to the park, this experience I had just reminded me that yes, you need to make this video. So I brought my dog to the park. I ran into this mother who she had two sons, and she had her two dogs with her, and her little 1-year-old was running around the grass, and my dog knocked her son over. Luckily we were in the grass, and she was just like, whatever, it's fine, like I want him to get, bumped up and dirty because it's good for him, and he's used to being knocked over because of her dog, so it's fine, I didn't have to worry. But I was next to her son, and I picked him up and I just dusted him off, and he was just so squishy and so cute and so soft and so beautiful. And I was just thinking to myself, like, people will truly miss out on this beautiful, wonderful experience of having a child just because of finances. And I think that is sad. So I don't think not everyone wants to have a child. Not everyone wants to have a child, and I don't think that's anything wrong with that. But if you are contemplating whether you want to have a child or not, definitely don't let finances stop you from making that decision. Because like, I grew up well taken care of. We didn't have tons and tons of money, but my family always made sure we had good experiences. So we went when we could. We went to Six Flags. We had little pizza parties, and we would go to Pizza Hut. And just going to Pizza Hut whenever we did, like, that was like this big awesome event. And just going to the park, spending time outside, and a hula hoop. Like, you don't have to buy everything. You don't have to buy the newest this, or enroll your child in this latest class. It's all, that's great, it's a bonus, but it's not a necessity. Like, your child doesn't have to have all of these things. They don't have to have their own room. It's totally fine to share. When I was younger, when we did have our own room, I was either in my sister's room sleeping, with her, or sleeping on her bunk bed, or she was in my room and we were sleeping, she was sleeping on one of my bunk beds. So we were perfectly fine sharing rooms, and just, do what you have to do. Make things up as you go along, create games, just keep your children engaged, and I don't think the money will be such a huge problem. Now, I know, like, college and all these other things come into play, but if your child knows that you love them and you're paying attention to them, I don't think the finances will be such a big deal. Of course, you want to make sure your child can eat and they have shelter, and that's definitely important. And I mean, less people are going to college nowadays. So when people say like, "Oh, I'm not having a child because of this," like college, like schooling, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if that's such an argument, nowadays. But people been having children in all kinds of financial situations, and you may have someone that's very well off, and money doesn't keep that kid from being a person with bad character. So money definitely isn't everything. Money doesn't guarantee your child is gonna come out to be the person that you want them to be. Unfortunately, it's really the what helps, even if your child does go down a bad road, is the relationship that you have with your kid. Okay, so that is what I think. I don't think I have anything else to add to that. Except I did want to add, okay, that God said multiple times to be fruitful and to multiply. He didn't say you have to have a certain amount of money, and he didn't tell you how many children that you needed to have. Of course, be responsible and don't have more children than you can handle. But if it's on your mind to have a child, please have that baby. Also, we have to replenish, the people that are, passing, and you know, if we're not replacing our population, we're not gonna have a country, or people migrate or whatever. But what about your legacy? I think legacies are important as well. You know, listen, your child that doesn't exist might solve one of the world's biggest issues. So I always like to think that way. I always think out of the box. But that is that. Yeah. So listen, God commands us to have those babies. And like I said, not everyone is called to have a baby, and that's perfectly fine. But if you are, why not? Guys, that is all that I have for you today. Well, in this video, and wherever you are, stay blessed, stay safe, and may all your dreams come true. All right, and stay in alignment with God. And if you're not saved, get saved. I have the salvation's prayer in the description. I gotta plug Jesus. And you guys subscribe if you want to, please, or at least like. So maybe there's someone out there contemplating whether they want to do this or not, and maybe this will just give them the extra push that they need to make the decision that they have to make. All right, you guys take care, and I love you. Bye.